Hello friends, hope you all are fine. We are back again with yet another episode of Artlit.
We will very soon introduce our today's guest, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on our social handles. Links are there in the description box below.
Let us tell you that Artlit is an art and literary community dedicated to bring stories of the storytellers, the artists, writers, and the literature enthusiasts. You can write to us at artlitcommunity@gmail.com.
Now let me welcome our today's guest, Arifa Bunglowala, who is the founder of Talk a Book, an initiative to make reading fun and accessible for everyone. Soft skill training is one of the areas that she believes can change the future of young engineering and management graduates. To spread this message, Arifa has written numerous research articles around the subject and they have been accepted by the prestigious universities. In the tough pandemic times, she introduced this unique concept of book reading sessions called Talk a Book. Here she addresses the need of reading books and insight kids, teenagers, and corporates all alike by making reading fun and engaging. Her last venture, Talk a Book, is taking its wings, and she is already has had an immensely successful sessions on some popular and best-selling books, namely The Habit of the Winning and The Fish, where the authors themselves place the session and address the audience. Under the same initiative, she is now active on YouTube with Wisdom from Book series, and where she uploads videos of interesting vignettes from best-selling books to motivate everyone. With 50 plus books covered by her, she is determined to create a more reading savvy generation. She enjoys reading and writing spiritual poetry in her spare time and is a hands-on mother of two growing boys. Welcome, Arifa. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Harmanti and Akhila. I'm doing good. And thank you for those kind words.
Our pleasure, Arifa. Now, before beginning the interview, friends, we just wanted to tell you that very soon we'll be organizing a fun reading workshop with Arifa. Stay connected to join that. Now, coming back to you, Arifa, first of all, tell us a little about your initiative, Talk a Book. What is it all about, and when was it started, and what was the motivation behind starting it?
So Talk a Book is an initiative to, promote and take the wisdom of books to people. Secondly, to make this activity of reading interesting for people. So this idea was there with me for a very long time, but I got a chance to materialize it when the pandemic happened and people were at home. So I thought this is a very good time to take books to people, and they will be able to make the most of the time that they are spending at home. I started these sessions. My first session was on 5th of June 2020. But yes, definitely the preparation for the complete thing that I wanted to do, this initiative, started a month back, and I created my own website, YouTube channel. I learned how to use Zoom because that was something very new at that time. And then we started with this Talk a Book. As far as the motivation to start this book is, it's a very interesting story. Actually, I take training sessions on soft skills and group discussions and public speaking, personal interviews. So in these sessions, I used to come across so many young adults. And while training them, I realized that they are facing a lot of challenge when it comes to using good vocabulary, when it comes to forming proper sentences, when it comes to expressing themselves, or adding a bit of knowledge to what they are saying. And I used to often tell them, see, if you want to do better with this, start reading books. start reading good books. I used to suggest them books to read. But as today's generation goes, or the generation has always been like this, but especially this time, we are, more tech savvy people. We spend a lot of time on social media and connecting with people and sending our messages or updating our profiles and status. So this is how our time is spent. And we are getting a bit away from that very, very important activity of reading. So they failed to, go back to books and read it. And I found that they're a bit, not very comfortable with this idea. So I used to take these books for them, give it to them, that take this from my side, read it, come back, and we'll have a discussion. So after 2-3 days, they would come back. They must have, they used to read only 2 pages or 3 pages at the most. And then they would say, ma'am, we are unable to understand. We don't know what is written, like we are unable to understand the vocabulary, the flow, and we don't know, we are not interested then. And if we cannot understand, we are definitely not interested to go ahead and read it. So what to do, ma'am? It's okay, and like that. At that point of time, I often used to think that I must do something to make this activity of reading, to make reading interesting for people. And then itself, I thought that let me make some PowerPoint presentations where I would put in a lot of visuals related to the book, the chapters, so that, when we see something, we remember it more, and it is very interesting for us. So merely reading won't be that interesting, but let me take it a step ahead and make it more picturesque. That is what I thought. But at that time, I was a bit preoccupied with various things going on, so couldn't do much about it. But then during these lockdown sessions, I got a chance, and I started this initiative called Talk a Book.
Very interesting. In
That's
fact,
an
that
amazing
way of,
story.
yeah. In
Yes,
fact, that
Akhila.
is a very unique, yeah, I was saying that was very unique to, add pictures, and it's always like, it's almost like, showing a movie or a still maybe movie, you can say. So that was a great initiative and idea to, to hook the readers and the students. Yeah.
Also, it's very interesting how you have connected these two things. One is storytelling in form of books, and one is the training. So, because
Yeah.
I was also attached to software training, and it has been 10 years that I have been talking and interacting with kids and young adults, you can say. And this is a very correct phenomena that they do not want to read. So this initiative will certainly be benefiting them. For us adults who are already settled in their life, and still why would we need to read, and what will we gain from reading? That is somewhere you demonstrate in your sessions, which is really path breaking. So my another question to you is, can you please tell us about what kind of activities you do through the platform you have created?
Of course. So as I said, these are sessions. Now, we have many videos available on YouTube where we see summaries of the book or just merely the gist of the book, which is fair enough, but then you do not know what the whole book is all about. So what I did was I prepared these sessions on each and every chapter of the book in very detail, right? So these sessions are covering the complete book in detail as it is written. Along with that, as I said, I took it to the PowerPoint presentation. So I used to bring a lot of pictures along with that videos related to the chapter that we are reading. Not only related to only what is written in the book, but if there is a personality that has been talked about or an event that has been talked about, I used to study about it and bring something additional to the platform so that whoever is attending these sessions, they don't only take away what is written in the book, but along with that, they take away a bit more of the information related to the personalities and events that are being covered in this book. So that is one basic thing that happens at Talk a Book. Secondly, as you said, I have a series called Wisdom from Books. So this is a series of short videos, not more than 3.5 minutes on YouTube, where I bring out a particular portion from a best-selling book. That can be a quote, that can be an anecdote, that can be an event, once again, that has been mentioned in the book. I bring that out, I talk about it. Once again, this video has a lot of pictures and bits and pieces of, videos, which conveys the message of that wisdom from the book to people in a visual form, which once again stays with them, becomes very interesting to listen and understand. And along with that, you come to know some real great books. So that is something, the second thing that I do. One more thing along the way, when you start something like this, you have a good thought of spreading something wonderful, things come along. So while I was taking these sessions, I got the idea of, rather not me, but somebody suggested, why don't you take interviews of authors? That was a wonderful idea. So I connected with some of the best-selling authors. I took their interviews, they talked about their success stories. Along with that, also their passion to write and why reading is important. Some real great, these people, like I would talk about Mr. Prakash Iyer, and I still remember when I asked him, so why do you think reading is important? He said something great. He said that, Arifa, I have found that good things in life are as if they're kept on the topmost shelf of a rack. And when you read, you add a page below your feet, and you gradually rise to a level where you can, now take benefit of all the good things in life. So had a wonderful time talking to all these authors, some great sports personalities. I interviewed them too. So that is something else which goes on Talk a Book. And then I got a chance to interact with kids and take books to them in an interesting way. So I took these sessions for kids of 6 to 12 years and 12 to 16 years, where I talked about some books which are meant for them. Like, I started with 7 Habits of Happy Kids by Sean Covey, a wonderful book. So I took that for the kids, and then, yes, of course, Secret 7, then Michael Morpurgo's Born to Run, some classic books. So that was another wonderful experience. So these are all the activities I take up in Talk a Book.
Interesting, very interesting, Arifa. So my next question is very much related to what you spoke right now. But before that, friends, let me tell you that we have given the link, the YouTube link of Arifa's channel below, and you can check out her videos and work. Now, Arifa, tell us that you have told already in brief that how you create videos and what kind of technology you use, but a little more about the procedure of maybe how you plan the lessons, or as you said, you approach some of the best-selling authors. So what was the procedure of doing it, and do you have a team, or you are just doing all alone? Just tell us.
Of course, I do have a team. I do have a team. And I always tell my students, and I would like to reiterate it once again here, that, and I'm a great believer of this, that if you see a success story, just develop your vision so that you can see the team behind it. Because I'm merely the face. The team is working behind me. So I have 3 of my very good friends working with me, who help me with these content development, with which book should I pick up to take, which would be very interesting. So they are very close friends. We are childhood friends, and we came along under the same initiative of Talk a Book. They are Afroz. Afroz is an avid reader. She's in Hyderabad, And because she's an avid reader, she can guide me with many books, like you can pick this one and you can take a good session on this. Then I have Almas, who is in Saudi Arabia, and she helps me with the content. At times, while reading, I feel that how should I go about it, and she would be helping with me with how we can take this up. And then I have Sheba, she is in UAE, and she helped me with the social media thing. So, developing all my platforms on my page on Facebook, how should I go about it? And how should I do the marketing on digital media?
Right.
Along with that, my website, which is wonderfully made. Yes, I'm telling you that myself, but I am in awe of, my goodness. Now look, that is a wonderful website. That has been developed by Afroz's son, Azam, who is he's doing his engineering from Vellore Institute of Technology. He is the man behind the website. So this is the, and I'm, taking names of very few people. I have mentors, I have people guiding me. And yes, when I talk about, when you ask me about the procedure, so we go through the book. We have already read the book, but I read it once again. I go through it in meticulously, that how, and I imagine how I can do this. What are the pictures I should pick out? What are the videos related to this, which would make the message that is there in the book more clear? And then I incorporate all this in my PowerPoint presentation, seeing to it that I end it in the particular time that is there with me, and I take the sessions.
That's amazing to hear the procedure you really incorporate in your sessions. So I would like to know about the most exciting milestones during your journey so far. Any special reading or interview session that are really close to your heart?
See, when I started Talk a Book, it was something I was really excited about. And so each one of the session is very, very close to my heart, because each one was a learning experience. I was learning Zoom, that platform, how to use it. And I was connecting with some of the great people I had never thought about. So everything was so exciting for me. But if I have to talk about one such thing, I would say that I took up the first book called The Habit of Winning by Prakash Iyer. And I got a suggestion that why don't you connect with Mr. Prakash Iyer and, request him to come up and talk about his book. That was something very new for me. I had not done anything like this. And I had no idea whether he would connect with me or not. But I did connect. I found out how, like I saw him on LinkedIn, I connected with him. And he was such a kind person. He is such a kind person. Let me tell you, one more thing that I learned was, the more you become successful, the more you should be humble. And that is what I learned. He is such a humble man, such a successful person. Written 4 to 5, I think, best-selling novels, books, and has been so successful in his corporate career as well. But he was so humble. And he connected with him. He agreed to come to the session and talk about his book, about his success story, about reading, writing, everything. So I think that was the most, the most exciting session for me. But of course, talking to all those great sports personality once again was, so all of that.
Great. So now tell us, Arifa, that how was your family's reaction when they came to know that you are coming up with such an initiative? Were they supportive enough?
Akhila, I told you that I am a strong believer that one man can never be successful alone. He has to have a backing. And that is true for me also. That is true for me.
Yeah.
I have a great supporting family. They have supported me. They've believed in my potential, that yes, I can do it. My husband has been a great mentor to me. He has been giving me such insightful suggestions And he was the one who told me, why don't you connect with Mr. Prakash Iyer? So he has been a great support. And my son, he himself is doing engineering, and he is the one who designed my logo, if you have seen that, and
Okay.
wonderfully designed logo. So he got it
Great. Yeah.
designed for me. So yes, each and every one of them, my family, my friends, and people who attended my sessions, they were so supportive, giving me feedbacks and telling me how maybe sometimes I might have to improve, or how I'm doing such a good job and they are enjoying it. My mentors during my training sessions, they guided me at so many points. So yes, it is all combined effort.
Great.
Great. So, any kind of challenges did you face during this journey of bringing books back into others' lives?
I think I started with a challenge, because when I used to talk about this to my students, I saw that there is a problem. So that was a challenge, that how to take these books to them. And Talk a Book is a solution to that challenge. So when I started this, yes, they connected with me very happily. They took back so many wonderful books and so many sessions. And yes, let me also tell you that what happens when I take these sessions, I convey it in an interesting way to them. And I ask them to pick the book up later on and read it. Now what happens is the comprehension is far more better, because now I have simplified the tough vocabulary for them. I have conveyed some difficult events which the author might have just written in a line. So I have told them the background of what the event was. So now they know the story. And now I ask them to read it. So now when the book pick up the book and read, it becomes very easy for them and very interesting for them to read. So that is what I want to inculcate. And through these sessions, I think that if I take these sessions for around 10, 12 books for them, and they attend it continuously, maybe the 13th book, they don't need me. Now they can just merely pick a book, read, understand, and be very excited about reading. So that is the whole idea. So challenges, yes, of course, the platform was one challenge. I had to learn so many things, but I kept learning. Also, let me tell you, when I used to take the session for kids, it was a challenge for me, because young adults, I had a different way of communicating with them. But when it is kids, I have to, be all out, doing all exciting things to keep them there with me.
Yeah.
So what I did was, that time I explored another thing in Zoom, and that is called the breakout rooms.
Right.
Okay.
What I did while I was taking this book, 7 Habits of Happy Kids, and I had to convey the importance of listening to them. What I did was, I took them into these breakout rooms, and I played Chinese whisper with them. So I used to take one kid to the breakout room and tell them, and then send two at a time. And then, we had this, and it was an exciting activity. That was something I explored for the first time, and all the kids were so excited. They gave me this feedback that, ma'am, we loved Chinese whisper, doing it on Zoom. So physically we can do it. We can stand in a circle and do the activity. But here, doing it was something new for me, and a challenge to learn and do it properly. So yes.
Yeah, I agree. Especially for kids, while dealing with kids, you need a lot of creativity. And I mean, it's more challenging than handling the young adults. So,
Definitely.
Arifa, tell us, yeah. So, Arifa, tell us one thing which is most rewarding about your journey.
I would like to start with myself. I would say that after starting Talk a Book, I have evolved as a person. I have seen a very positive change in myself. People have observed it and given me a feedback. So that is one most rewarding thing, really, I would say, for me. Then when I look outside, of course, people telling me that they are really loving these sessions and the idea of Talk a Book. When I started this, my idea was to start it for young adults, but I kept the sessions open. And I saw that I am getting young adults definitely as my audience, but professionals are joining me, homemakers are joining me, retired people are joining me and enjoying the sessions, telling me that we are using our time so very well, attending your sessions, and once again, reading the books in a very new way, an interesting way. So all these feedbacks are so rewarding.
Great.
So it's so inclusive, this particular part, that reading serves to every one of us in so many different ways. It's so, interesting to even acknowledge the fact that each member who have joined you has taken back something very unique for themselves. That's exciting. So what are your future plans? In which related areas would you like to venture next?
Of course, Talk a Book, we have our normal sessions, we have wisdom from books going on. I wish to continue that as much as I can, because while doing that, I realized that from a book, I cannot pick only one portion as a wisdom. The whole book is full of wisdom. So I can take so many bits and pieces. So it will continue definitely. What I'm planning next is something like a 15-20 minute session where I'll be using PowerPoint presentation and bringing in pictures and videos related to the book, but then completing the book in a detailed summary sort of a thing in 15-20 minutes, so that in one go, you can know about a book. It may not be that detailed, but yes, a detailed summary, we can say. Of course, that, and then I'm a soft skill trainer. So I would like to continue with my corporate trainings that I keep doing. And in that also, lately in my corporate trainings, what I do is I carry a book along with me. And along with the regular procedures or regular topics that we're taking up, I also introduce a book and tell something about the book. And I also suggest them to make a rack in their office and put some real good books over there, so that whenever they get time, they can just pick up a book and read instead of spending their time, or, rather, should I use the word, wasting their time using social media. And, yeah, really, because when you go back and you sit and think, you do not have anything to take back after connecting with people. Okay, you should, but then at some point of time, you have to sit and you have to break it out, and you have to say that now I have to do something for myself. And when you read, you just definitely develop yourself. So that they can do. So corporate training, soft skill trainings I will be incorporating book reading in that as well. Along with that, I'm also now the head of the Skills and Entrepreneurship Committee of Mehdibagh Youth Club. This is a very prestigious club working towards the betterment of the society, and I'm heading the Skills and Entrepreneurship Committee. So I plan to do quite a few sessions of skill development for youngsters and for people of all ages, because once again, skill development is something which is lifelong. You can never say that I have enough now. You keep developing it. So yes, that will be there in my plan for the next year, for sure.
Right, Arifa. So one last question is, like, your title, of your initiative, Talk a Book, is very interesting. So how did you come up with that? And the final word to our viewers, whatever you would like to say.
Yes, now Talk a Book. I was thinking, what should it be? Book talk? Oh, no. Doesn't, convey the message properly. So what should I do? And I have a lot of youngsters in my house, all my, immediate cousins and my nephews and nieces, they're all young people. So I kept throwing the idea to them that, look, I want to start something like this. Should I keep the title this? Should I keep the title this? And then all of a sudden I thought, why not talk a book? And I threw the idea. I just floated the idea in them. And they were like, oh yes, this clicks. This conveys the whole concept of what you want to do. So yes, that's a good idea. And that is how it became Talk a Book. As far as my message to everybody, I am a learner myself. I have always believed that throughout your life, you are a learner, and you can never say that I have learned enough, now I have to sit back and enjoy life. You have to enjoy life, but along with that, keep learning. So that will be my message. And I am also very fond of Galileo Galilei's saying, who says that I've never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. So that has been my idea. Whomever I meet, I learn something from that person. I try to incorporate the good things in me. And that is what I would like to say, tell it to everybody, that be a learner for life. And to learn good things, definitely you have people around you, but you have books around you. They are big teachers. Pick up a book, read, because it is full of wisdom. A book is a compilation of a man and his experience of life. And he has put in such a lot of imagination and creativity, which definitely will add to your personality. That is what I always believe, and I keep telling people. So read, read, and read, because you look at successful people around you, you pick anybody, you pick anybody from any genre. Entertainment, the moment you say entertainment, Shah Rukh Khan, yes, king of Bollywood. The, the most successful actor in the world, Shah Rukh Khan, he believes in reading. He has a library of more than 10,000 books in his house. And he says, whenever I get time, whenever I am in leisure, I love to read. Investment, finance, yes, another wonderful genre, and people want to go into that. Warren Buffett. Oh my God, he is a bookworm. You just pick up a video of Warren Buffett and he'll be talking about a book. So he is a great, believer in reading. IT, Bill Gates, anybody, any successful, and each one of us want to be successful in life, don't we? So yes, some quality we can pick from there. So read. That will be my suggestion for everybody.
You rightly said, Arifa, that one should be a learner throughout the life, and books are the great teachers. So really great takeaways. So it was lovely talking to you today. Thanks for your time, Arifa.
Thank you so much, Akhila. Thank you, Hemanti. And it was lovely talking to both of you. Talking about Talk a Book, especially because spreading this message is very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So friends, that's all for today. Before concluding, we must tell you and remind you that very soon we'll be back with Arifa, and we'll be conducting a fun reading workshop for all of you. So stay connected to know more about it.
Hope you enjoyed today's session.
Please tell us how did you find today's session in the description box below.
We'll meet you soon. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, read more.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.